last in field goal percentage is not a surprise.
Want to go now?
I'm ready.
For those of you taunting and tempting Mother Nature about a lack of a winter, it's nice and chilly outside of the Clark Athletic Center to welcome two teams that have been on the colder side of an offense as the Keene State Owls make the trek down to Boston to face off against the UMass Boston Beacons in a Little East Conference matchup. Hello, everybody. Alongside Max Clifford, George Bannister here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And Max, both these teams struggling. You seem to see a little bit more of UMass Boston action. We were talking a little bit off air. You're saying post play is good, post play is important. Don't give up on that so quickly.
Yes, absolutely. I've seen a lot of this team, and the problem is very diagnosable. Problem, if you could call it that. They're still winning games, but not as many as they'd like. They need to focus a little more on that post presence, specifically Alexa Potter. The transfer junior from Dean College has been a force down low, but sometimes the guards can neglect her presence and opt for the three-point shot, which is not as prominent for them as it has been in past seasons. So Beaks need to stay away from that long ball a little bit. If it's falling, but don't live and die on it because Alexa Potter's down low for them.
You can see in our season stats that we're about to put up on the screen for you right now, there's the field goal percentage, pretty even, 36.8 to 33. But then you look at the long ball that you just brought up, Max, 23%, just under 24% for UMass Boston and 25% for Keene State.
Yeah, neither team is shooting the lights out of the ball too well. They love to take their threes, but they don't make a ton. Keene State, like you said, does have the slight edge. They do have a bit shorter in stature in their lineup compared to UMass Boston. So the Beaks should use that to their advantage today if they want a nice afternoon win for the Harbor campus.
You talked about post play. You talked about Alexa Potter. She's one of our players to watch here this afternoon. Potter averaging 13.1 points per game. Look at that field goal percentage, Max, all inside the paint.
Yeah, I mentioned it. She does not waste her time with long balls. She knows exactly where she makes her money, and it's right down in the post. She tends to sometimes get a bad angle on the shot, but more often than not, she's going to find her way to the rim, and usually there's not a size matchup for her because, like I mentioned, she is 6 feet tall. She's going to be the tallest player on the court today. She needs to use that to her advantage, and her guards need to use her to their advantage.
On the other side of the ball, it's Ariana Murray averaging a team-high 12.2 points per game. She does it pretty much all for the Owls. She leads the team in points, assists, steals, and tied for first in blocks.
Yes, you see a lot of this in the Little East Conference. Some teams that are struggling have one player who can really do it all for them, and Ariana Murray is this player for Keene State. She is going to be the player to watch for the Owls today.
Let's take a sneak peek at the Bucks here as we come up for January 14th, the indoor track at the Reggie Paiu Invitational all day long. Of course, you have men and women basketball right here on the Beacon Broadcast Network, which will bring you all day today. And, oh, by the way, women's and men's ice hockey will be traveling up to New England College later today.
Huge day on the Harbor campus. Huge day for men's basketball later today. After this matchup, stay tuned because the number 4 team in the country is coming into Clark Gymnasium to face a red-hot Beacons team.
They're saying that that's the matchup of the month, if not the week here.
Easily.
For the Little East Conference TV and the Beacons Broadcast Network. Let's take a look at the head coaches now for each team. Heather Jacobs in her second season with the Beacons.
Yes, Heather is a great leader. The Beacons benefit from a couple of great coaches, both the men's and women's sides of the basketball program. In just her second season with the team, she's leading them. They're not winning as many games as they want, I mentioned, but they've got a lot of young talent that they're seeing, and their starting lineup is getting the job done. Watch out for them late in the season with Heather Jacobs at the helm.
But to that point, she's already matched the win total to last year. And that's something, as an administration, you want to see the program grow. So if you're matching the win total, games.
Absolutely. Definitely some marked improvement under Heather Jacobs, and I think that's the reason a lot of players came back this year.
On the other side, we have Keith Boucher, second-year head coach on one bench, 34th season for Boucher at the helm for the Owls.
That's the beautiful thing about Division III basketball is there's not a lot of job pressure. As long as you are consistent in what you do, you can stick around for 30, 40 years, and this is exactly what Keith Boucher has done.
He hasn't been a slouch in the 34 years.
No.
He's won a Little East title. He's gone to the NCAA tournament 3 times, including with the automatic bid,
Yep.
and 2 at-large bids, which is not easy
in
the lower
at
levels.
all.
We'll take a look at the individual leaders coming up now for both teams, and we talked about Ariana Murray on one side for the Owls. Let's talk about Meg Dixon, another player who could potentially have a big impact for the Beacons.
Meg Dixon makes her impact felt all over the court, and you can see that in the numbers. Second only to Alexa Potter in field goal percentage, and up there with Carrie Ann Farina in assists, but leading the team in rebounds, points, free throw percentage, 3-point percentage. She does it all. At one point, she was averaging a double-double. She's right up there with it, 9.3 rebounds per game. Don't be surprised to see a double-double from her today. Don't be surprised to see her scoring from all over the court. That 3-ball could come alive. She could be driving to the hoop. She can do whatever she wants as long as she's not rushing the offense and trying to do too much.
You talked about points and 3-balls for Meg Dixon. Meg's number 33 in NCAA in points with 266. She's number 21 overall in NCAA Division III in 3-point attempts.
Yes.
So she's not afraid to shoot the ball.
Not bad at all. No, she knows where her money is made, and she likes to shoot the ball. And she's a grad student. She came back for another year here at UMass Boston because she liked what she saw, and she's been a leader so far for this team this season.
On the other side, you have Kenzie Dunford, who's been primarily the big hitter beyond the arc for Keene, which is something they're going to need tonight because, as you mentioned, with their lack of size down low, maybe perimeter action is where they're going to see their points come from.
Absolutely. Yes, we mentioned it. The one spot where Keene seems to have a strong advantage is definitely in 3-point shooting. They make nearly 6 threes per game, while the Beacons make under 4 per game. So if Keene wants to score in bunches and, stay in this game with the Beacons, they'll definitely want to focus on that 3-point shot.
We talked about low block play. We just have to take a look at one real stat. It's not up on the screen. We'll give it to you. UMass Boston averaging 6.1 blocks per game. Meanwhile, Keene State 1.8 blocks per game.
Yes, I mentioned that height advantage is going to be huge down low. I don't imagine the Owls will be focusing too much on their quote-unquote bigs, and that's to say nothing of their talent, but merely of their stature. Alexa Potter, like I mentioned, is going to be the tallest player on the court. And when those arms get up there, it's tough to make a shot down low, especially for the Owls.
Yeah, that wingspan extends her body height. She's number 8 in the NCAA with 40 blocks already this season for Alexa Potter. We're just got word of the starting lineups. When we get that, we'll flash those across the screen as well for you. And it looks like we're ready to go. Thank you, Maria. For the Beacons, no surprise, it's the usual suspects. Meg Dixon, Carrie Ann Farina, Sunny Green, Paige Olivier, and Alexa Potter. And for the Keene State Owls, 4 or 5 have been pretty consistent. There's been that 5th starter that's been up in the air, and we'll give you those. Ariana Murray, Kate McAvoy, Valerie Latte, Kenzie Dunford, and Riley Burgess, the starting 5 for the Owls. Those are the first 10 players on the court today, and it's going to be should be an exciting day of action here at the Clark Athletic Center for both games here as Keene State traveled as usual with the Little East. Men's and women's action combining on the same day.
Absolutely. It makes for some really exciting doubleheaders here on the Clark Athletic Center. We love a good doubleheader between men's and women's basketball.
We're about 5 minutes away from tip. Let's talk about some keys to the game. You already brought them up. Start strong, finish strong.
Yes.
Does that mean strong in the block or just strong in general?
I would say just strong in general, and don't give up on it just because you're up. So the Beacons, they are good at taking a lead early, but then in the last quarter of the game, they tend to fall apart a little bit. So that really happened against Castleton earlier this season where they were up big, and then Castleton started hitting threes in the 4th quarter, and UMass Boston couldn't procure anything on offense. So don't let that happen again because that game went to overtime, and then it was curtains for the Beacons. They want to win this game in the first 4 quarters. Play consistently throughout. Once you find out what's working today, because it could be different from last week, find out what works today and stick with that all game long.
Number 2, utilize the post. You talked about the height differential between these two rosters. You talk about the powerhouse down low and Alexa Potter. If UMass Boston's going to be successful, don't shy away. Don't go inside, outside. Work inside.
Yes, absolutely. Like I mentioned a few times, Alexa Potter will be the tallest player on the court, and they need to use that to their advantage. They tend to get in their heads and focus on the 3-point shot because, it can fall, and when it does fall, it works really well. But Alexa Potter's always going to be there, hopefully, fingers crossed for the Beacons. But use her down low. She has the advantage. Take advantage of that.
And you sort of mentioned this in the position of the first point of finishing strong.
Yeah.
Control the tempo.
Yes.
Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Keep it at 80 miles an hour. Finish the game strong.
Absolutely. You want to go fast, but also not too fast, because the Beacons, they have, 11.8 assists per game, but 19.5 turnovers per game. They want to limit those turnovers for sure, because once they start playing too fast and those turnovers start coming, that's when it falls apart. They're really good at forcing turnovers, especially Sunny Green is a player to keep an eye on. Leads the team in steals, but she also leads the team in fouls. So, on defense, you want to keep it fast, but you don't want to have any of your players in foul trouble. So tempo is key on both sides of the court.
Yeah, a +1 turnover differential, meaning you talked about it, they turn the ball over about 19 times a game because they sometimes get ahead of themselves, but they're also forcing 20 turnovers a game.
Yes.
To that point, Sunny Green, who's one of the top in the country and in the Little East defensively.
Yes. She's spectacular on defense. They've got a lot of guards who are going to get in your face and cause problems all day long. They just don't want to cause problems for themselves in terms of personal fouls.
Yeah, Sunny Green, number 1 in the Little East Conference in steals at 41, and she's also in the top 50 in the country in steals.
Really impressive from Sunny Green, for sure.
About 2 minutes away from tip-off right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. We're going to bring you all this doubleheader action live from the Clark Athletic Center. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be an exciting one here from the Harbor campus.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and
10 minutes up on the board. Starting lineups, we've already given them to you, are about to be announced. And Max, final thoughts here before we get underway here in this Little East Conference matchup.
I'm just really excited to see UMass Boston get back on track with a win. I'd like to see them score some points too. You know, they tend to win ugly. They tend to win with a really low score on both sides. When one team is scoring a lot of points, that's dangerous for them because then they need to play catch up. I'd like to see them get out in front, play consistently, and stay out in front for the entire game. And not, you know, like we mentioned, tempo's big. I don't want to see them let go of that lead and then get into trouble late. You know you have this team outmatched, so play like it. You know, play up to your standard and hold on to this lead for the game.
There's nothing more infuriating for a head coach when your team plays down to their competition.
Absolutely.
It drives a coach crazy. This coming from a baseball coach.
Yes.
It drives a coach crazy when your team, you know how they can compete, you know how they play, and all of a sudden they're playing down to the competition.
Yes, absolutely. So don't let the record on the other side deceive you. This team could be much better than you expect, and play like they will be better than you expect. You know, play like you are in a competitive game, whether you are or not.
So, again, starting lineups being announced here at the Clark Athletic Center. Max Clifford, George Bannister bringing you the action here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. It's going to be fun for me, a first chance to see both of these teams in person rather than just on tape. So it'll be a fun afternoon for sure to see what's going on here. UMass Boston in the home whites trimmed in blue and black. Meanwhile, Keene State in their road red with black letterings and the black trim.
I tell you what, even when Keene State doesn't have the best team around, they make it interesting because their fans travel really well. You can catch a glimpse of the bleachers over there. You got a lot of fans in red came down from Keene, and they're ready. They're ready to see their team play. They're excited for hopefully a road upset for them.
Yeah, not a bad drive from New Hampshire to get here over to the Harbor campus. But you can see the smattering of reds, and you see a whole kind of top row over there by the Keene State. It's like their own pep club. They have the posters on the wall and everything.
Yeah, brought their own banners. Yeah, Keene State definitely travels well, and this Saturday is a big one for them with a doubleheader here in Boston.
10 minutes up on the board. If you're unfamiliar with women's basketball rules, shame on you. You should have been watching all along. 4 10-minute quarters. We do have media timeouts after the 5-minute mark or a timeout just before that.
Yep.
Those are our media timeouts. Four timeouts assigned per team. If you don't use a 30 in the first half, sorry, you lose it in the second.
Can't take it with you.
There's the basic rundown. Everything else is the same. They actually call travel in college, so pay attention to that as well.
Watch out for that.
Off the tip, it's Carrie Ann Farina who handles for the Beacons. Right-hand dribble on the far wing. Backs up to the Lighthouse logo. Hands it off for Olivier. And I'm not sure you want Alexa Potter touching that ball that far out.
No, it's a surprise to see her out by the perimeter for sure. Want to see her down low. Right now, Meg Dixon on the low post. She can play there too for sure.
Dixon on the block will skip pass out. Catch and shoot with one on the shot clock. Won't go. Rebounded there by Kate McAvoy. And back the Owls come the other way.
Good ball movement, but they used up a lot of clock and ended up having to rush a shot from Sunny Green. That's not the kind of shot you want.
A deep shot and a 3 connected.
Early, that difference in three-point percentage that we talked about is rearing its ugly head. A miss from the Beaks and a make from Keene State and Ariana Murray, who is an excellent shooter.
First 3 points of the afternoon goes to Ariana Murray. She's averaging 12.2 per game, and we highlighted her as the player to watch for the Owls. Potter again touching it at the 21-foot line. You don't want her touching it there.
Surprised to see it again.
Dribble, hard drive, good attack by Sunny Green. She'll go to the line for 2.
As much as Sunny Green racks up fouls, she's good at drawing those fouls too. Just a fast player, plays aggressive, and makes a lot of contact, and sometimes it works out for her.
First team foul. Oh, by the way, because of the 4 quarters, 5 team fouls is the bonus for each team in women's basketball. Again, just want to keep you up to speed to the rules. Sunny Green will hit the first. Averaging 53% from the line this season so far.
Beacon's not the best free throw shooting team in the league. They want to pick that up today. 2 for 2 from the line. There we go.
2 for 2 to start, Max. A good start from the charity stripe. Cuts the lead to 3-2 now. 8:43 to go here in the first quarter. From the block, from the elbow, the shot is blocked by Meg Dixon on Kenzie Dunford. That's her team leading 7th block. Good ball fake, driving the lane, kick back out. It's Dixon on the far wing. Jab step one way, dribbles the other. Green cutting to the lane, kicks it out. Catch and shoot Olivier. Got it!
And that's a great sign from Paige Olivier. That's her 100th three-point attempt on the season. She started off a little bit cold to the season, but lately she's picked it up. She went 4 for 9 in their last game and 1 for 1 here so far today. That's a great sign for the Beaks.
Pull-up jumper will fall for Lutzy. And we're all tied up at 5 here with 7:54 to go in the first quarter.
Keene looks good when they can get a shot off, but the aggressive Beacons defense is going to be a problem for them, causing turnovers. Carrie-Ann Farina found a wide open lane and took it right to the hoop. That was an impressive drive from her.
That's what you want to see from your de facto point guard.
Yes.
You don't want to dish. There's a lane. Take it.
Take
it all the way to the hole. Owls control on the far wing. It's Murray. Reverses over for McAvoy. Now to the block. Turning and shooting off the glass is Kenzie Dunford. She'll get it up and in. But I got to tell you, she was double teamed down there by Potter and Olivier, and she was still able to get it up.
Yeah, that was a tough look for her. An impressive shot driving it up towards the hoop there.
Olivier, right-hand dribble. We're going to get a foul. That's going to be on Katie McAvoy. Her first, team second. We're going to say that there was a hand check with the forearm there, so get a whistle and a foul. Second foul of the afternoon so far. Sideline trigger to be handled by Carrie-Ann Farina. It's Green, far wing. Dixon with a ton of motion goes through the lane on the baseline. Cross-court pass, posting up down low. Potter, she's calling for it. Instead, Beacons reverse. 5 on the shot clock. Trying to force a pass to Green that wasn't there. There's a turnover, and it'll be Owls basketball with 6:49 to go in the first quarter.
I think there was a little hesitation to feed Alexa Potter down low for fear of a bad pass, but that's what they ended up with anyway. You know, you need to take that chance and try to feed Alexa because, you know, she's going to get a good look.
3 rattles in and then out for Valerie Lutzy. Rebounded by Potter. Beacons go back the other way. Dixon will defer to Farina. Calls out the offense, backs up to the lighthouse. Now we'll dribble toward the hoop. Left hand in the lane, try to scoop. She gets fouled. I think that'll be against Riley Burgess. And it is her first, team's third, but to the line to shoot 2 will be Carrie-Ann Farina.
Carrie-Ann aggressive on offense earlier today. She is the team's leading assist getter, but today she is driving to the hoop and trying to make some points for herself. I'm impressed with Carrie-Ann earlier.
Julia Dessart will check in for the Owls. Surprised the substitution was allowed before the first free throw.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Farina hits the first. She's up to 3 points early on this afternoon for the senior forward out of Arlington. She'll rattle the second one in, and it's up to 4 points. You talked about poor free throw shooting entering this afternoon. 4 for 4 so far for the Beacons.
Look at them, proving me wrong. I love it.
Is that the reverse of a broadcaster's jinx?
That's right.
Moving screen down low against Riley Burgess. That's her second foul, 4th against the Owls. And we'll see if Coach Keith Boucher opts for a substitution. And here comes Lily Krasinski. Burgess is still trying to figure out what she did wrong. You moved your upper body as you tried to set the screen.
Okay. I missed that one, yep. She was not happy with that one. That's all I could tell.
Farina, near wing. Potter posting up. Potter's working one-on-one against
Bang.
Kenzie Dunford, and then a three on the great ball movement for Meg Dixon, her first 3 points of the afternoon.
That is exactly the look you want to give number one. When she gets a wide open three, she's not going to miss it. She takes a lot of those. Yeah, that was passed it to herself there.
Let's see, try to kick it out, saw a Beacon hand go in the way, and then dropped it back into her hands. That's a travel. And it'll be Beacon's basketball with a 12-7 lead here with 5:42 to go in the first quarter.
And another wide open look for Meg Dixon.
Catch and shoot, and she
Bottoms.
connects. And Coach Boucher does not want to see anything else. And with 5:34 to go, we're going to take a timeout, and we'll take one with them. 5:34 to go, first quarter. Beacons 15, Owls 7, right here on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them
Way
into
early for jump range.
Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Alongside Max Clifford, George Bannister here at the Clark Athletic Center. First media timeout, UMass Boston with the help of two triples by Meg Dixon, up 15-7.
And I talked about staying away from the three-point shot. There was a big asterisk on that. Stay away from it if it's not falling. They have been hitting it early today, and so stick with that as long as it works. I love to see it.
3 for 4 so far from beyond the arc for the Beacons. To that note, I would like to say I'd like to think that we know what we're talking about, but Alexa Potter has not touched the ball down in the post yet.
Yes. You have to imagine it's coming at some point, but as long as the perimeter game is working for the Beaks, they're going to stick with that.
What great defense by Green, and they're going to call her for a foul as Ariana Murray tried to go up for the shot. So first foul against Green, team's first, and to the line to shoot two will be Ariana Murray, who shoots just 56.8% from the line so far.
One deficiency in her game. We'll see how she looks today from the line.
Hits the first one, nothing but net, up to 4 points now for Murray. Hey, if this is a day both teams crack this whole free throw situation, why not? Short on the second, Alexa Potter cleans the glass with some Windex, and here come the Beacons. Green with a wide open lane, charges in and gets the basket.
That was an impressive look to avoid the charge and to get the bucket with a body in her way. That was a good move by Sunny Green.
Ball pass goes through the legs of Lutzy. She regains possession, but look at this tough, matched up man defense here by the Beacons. We're going to get a blocking foul here against Carrie Ann Farina. That's going to be her first, team second. I don't know if I'm Coach Heather Jacobs, I'm okay with that.
Definitely, yeah. Not too many fouls early here. They're getting them when they need them, and you're not upset about that one.
Liz Gagne checking in for the Owls. She'll replace Valerie Lutzy. Shot goes awry. Meg Dixon with the rebound, and Farina will drive up court for the Beacons. Crossing the timeline, goes to the corner for Olivier. Posting up at the block, down low it goes to Potter. Potter left hand, won't go. Grabs her own rebound, puts it up, that won't go. Ball loose, batted around, it'll remain Beacons basketball, 20 on the shot clock on the reset.
Yeah, and you're going to get some of that with Alexa Potter. She's double teamed down there, so there was a lot of aggressive hands, possibly some contact, but a couple misses, but she kept getting her own rebound, which is huge.
Off the inbound, a catch and shoot for Meg Dixon, and she'll connect. Points number 7 and 8 for Dixon. It's a 19-8 lead for the Beacons, the largest of the afternoon for the home team.
This is the Meg Dixon experience. She can really hit it from anywhere. She's hit from three. She's hit from the mid-range. We'll probably see some post moves from her, and the free throw line as well.
There's a travel by Lily Krasinski, so it's a turnover, and it'll be Beacons basketball with 4:10 to go here in the first quarter. I got here early, got a chance to watch the super early shoot-around.
Yep.
And just watching Meg Dixon shoot, it was the same mechanics over and over again. Olivier for three off the iron, that won't fall. Offensive rebound by Dixon, and now good ball movement by the Beacons. Goes back to Olivier, shoots another three, and connects.
Paige Olivier is the hottest shooter on the team right now. She went 4 for 9, like I mentioned, from three last game, and now 2 for 2 early here. She's definitely gotten out of that funk that she was in earlier this season.
22-8 now the score in favor of the Beacons over the Owls. Left-hand dribble by Gagne. Skip pass to the block. Fadeaway jumper off the rim. Won't fall for Krasinski. Beacons grab the rebound. Farina, outlet pass up ahead for Green. Had to wait for it. Thought about turning and giving it to Potter quickly, but had to corral it. Good up fake by Olivier. She'll maintain and give it back for Farina. They play catch, and now Olivier drives the lane hard. Kicks out for Dixon. Catches, steps inside. Mid-range jumper.
And one.
Basket and the foul.
Meg Dixon can't miss right now. That was an impressive shot from her, and to draw the foul all the way on the ground. That was really a great shot by Meg Dixon.
That was with a body not just in front of her, but crashing toward her.
All over her.
5 team fouls, so Beacons will be in the bonus. Any other foul, non-offensive foul, will send UMass to the line from here on out. Dixon trying to complete a 3-point play here. 3:12 to go first quarter. And she does. She's up to 11 points here in the first quarter as UMass Boston extends its lead to 25-8 here with 3:07 to go in the quarter. Gagne to the elbow. Spinning down low is Krasinski. Off the glass and in.
That was a nice little fake by Krasinski to get everyone's eyes away from her and then to just sneak right past.
Dixon catch and shoot from the baseline. That won't fall. What a rebound by Green, and she'll put it up and in.
The heat check from Meg Dixon, but it turned into 2 for Sunny Green. That was an excellent follow by her.
Somebody left her all alone and unmarked, and she was able to crash in and grab that offensive rebound. It's a 17-point lead for UMass Boston, 27-10, 2:28 to go first quarter. Entry pass to the block. What a pass and what a layup. Ariana Murray. But that was a heck of an entry pass to avoid the defender on the block and give Murray a clean lane to the basket.
Yep, she knew exactly where her leading scorer was.
Olivier, catch, shoot. That's going to be off. Ball batted around a bit before finally being grabbed by Dunford, and she'll bring it up court for the Owls. Sprints across the timeline, waits for some help. It's Dessart. Gagne to the elbow. Dixon read it, trying to swat it away. Ball tied up. It'll remain Keene State basketball, 15 on the shot clock. 1:50 to go here first quarter.
And that's the Beacons defense. They're not going to stand there and let you hold on to the ball for a while. They're going to get in there and either cause a turnover or cause a jump ball, and that's exactly what they did.
Alexa Potter will get a rest as we see Tatiana Fevry check in. I'm assuming Potter will be done for the rest of the first quarter until second quarter action starts.
Fevry's had some impact as a freshman off the bench, getting in there, a smaller center, but, she's making an impact in Alexa's spot.
Bad pass stolen there by Meg Dixon. Skip pass for Fevry, attacks the hoop, can't get it. Ball batted around, Dixon was able to save it, but the Owls come away with it and try to push the action the other way. It's Furs, pulls up, pass down low, trying to take advantage with Potter not in there, but great defense there by Olivier, forces the bad shot, and it'll be Beacons basketball.
Heady play by Fevry in there to get the ball and then throw it off of a Keene State player. That's a classic move that they never really seem to see coming.
Sabela Jensen will walk it across the timeline here for the Beacons. Approaching the final 70 seconds here of the first quarter, 27-12, UMass Boston over Keene State here on the Beacon Broadcast Network. 3 from the corner won't fall. Rebounded by the Owls, and you can hear Coach Boucher yelling out, go.
Yep. They would like to get another bucket before this quarter comes to an end here. A big deficit they've got themselves into.
Good drive to the baseline. What a block from behind by Green. And it'll remain Owls basketball at 16 on the shot clock. 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
You just do not get easy buckets when number 21 is on you. She's so impressive on defense. It's crazy.
You take a look at 5'7", you think, okay, that's a decent size. That's her 13th block this season.
It's crazy. She does everything on the defensive end, and she's just a problem for the offense consistently.
Durnford in the lane, and we'll get the basket. 4 points for Durnford. Beacons traveled at midcourt. Jensen caught it, took an extra step before getting rid of it. So it'll be Owls basketball here with 37.1 seconds to go. 7-second differential between the play clock and the shot clock. Good hands by Fevry. She comes away with a steal at midcourt. Corrals the basketball and lays it in.
That's offense. That's defense turning into offense. Points off turnovers have been huge for UMass Boston all season.
That's turnover number 5 for the Owls. Make that number 6 with that one.
UMass Boston causing a lot of problems. Just, issues that you don't usually see from your team. Travels. Bad passes. These are the kind of things that they make happen with their defensive presence.
Well, that man pressure defense, that matchup man pressure that Coach Jacobs has on display so far has been wreaking havoc.
It's overwhelming.
Final 7 seconds. Olivier traverses the arc. Fevry steps inside. Down low. All alone is Green. Missed the gimme at the buzzer. And that's where we stand at the end of one. UMass Boston 29, Keene State 14. We'll be right back. You're watching UMass Boston women's basketball on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the lessons learned along the way.
That was overwhelming for the Beacons. They just not ready for it.
No.
Not the shiny damn body kind.
Imagine if Green hits that layup 30 minutes first.
Right, yeah, that was a lucky one.
Something I discovered in myself is
stays
that I
down
have a goal
three.
and I can accomplish it.
The well-rounded.
Because their 30-second force the medium ran out ball.
Primarily,
Because it was at 5:30.
it was a little shape around the goal.
Six. We'll come back with turnovers. 6 turnovers for Keene State turned into 11 points.
Not only participating in sport, but participating in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated.
I got swimming and diving next weekend at Harvard. Back here at the Clark Athletic Center alongside Max Clifford, George Bannister. Max, big first quarter here for the Beacons. They turned 6 turnovers from Keene State into 11 points.
Yes, and that's huge, and it has been all season for the Beacons. I talked about they're a defensive-minded team. When they get on that defensive end, they are in your face, and they are causing problems. A lot of turnovers caused for the Beacons, and they need to capitalize off of them if they want to win, and so far they really are.
Almost 13, but Green missed the gimme there at the
tough
buzzer.
look at the end for Sunny Green, but she had a big first quarter regardless.
Yes, she did. We'll give you the 5 on the floor right now for the Beacons. Tatiana Fevry, Meg Dixon.
Meg is not out there, actually.
Excuse me, not Meg Dixon.
Sabela Jensen.
That's Sabela Jensen. That's right. Sabela Jensen, Carrie Ann Farina, Fevry, and Potter trying to get the entry pass. They're going to say it went off her hands and out of bounds. So it'll be Owls basketball. Green, the 5th player on the floor for the Beacons. We'll give you the 5 for the Owls as they cross midcourt. Katie McAvoy, who defers to Jackie Elabrandi, who's only played 4 games as a captain. Avery Stewart, Elizabeth Gagne. Elabrandi for 3 off the front iron. That won't fall. And Kenzie Durnford, that's the 5 on the floor for Keene State. Jensen and Farina play catch. Now Jensen attacks the hoop and lays it up and in.
Great move by Sabela Jensen with the left. Getting soaring right past the Keene State defense and getting a bucket. That was impressive.
2 points for her. She averages about 4 a game. She's logged plenty of minutes here for Coach Jacobs. Catch and shoot for 3 off the front iron for Avery Stewart. Potter with the rebound. And Farina will bring it across the timeline. Calls the offense. Defers for Jensen. She gets fouled by Katie McAvoy. That'll be her second, team's first here in the second quarter. Here comes Meg Dixon into the game. She'll give Sunny Green a rest.
She was out of the game for all of about 10 seconds before Heather Jacobs sent her over to the scorer's table to check in.
Just giving her a little extra rest between that break between periods.
Absolutely.
Dixon catch and shoot from the wing off the front iron. Won't fall. Good rebound there by Farina. She gets stripped from behind. Beacons maintain possession, however. Potter.
Good feed.
In the lane, lays it up and in, but to your point, what a feed from Meg Dixon. She did not hesitate as she received that pass on the wing.
And that's that low post that I was talking about, or pregame. It took an entire quarter and then some for us to get a bucket from Alexa Potter, but she can get those good looks down low.
More great defense by Fevry. Driving the lane hard, though, is Durnford, and she'll lay it up and in. 6 points for Durnford, and they've been very difficult to obtain.
Absolutely.
Dixon drives baseline, will have to kick back out. Farina steps into it, thought about a 3, instead backs out and directs some traffic here. Her pass for Dixon deflected by the Owls. Cross court, wide open is Jensen, but she'll defer. Under 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Jensen for Potter on the baseline. Fronts her defender, kicks out. Dixon forced to shoot, 30-second violation.
Yeah, again, they used a lot of that shot clock and then had to get a rushed three-pointer from Meg Dixon. Just wasn't online at all. She wasn't ready for it. So they want, like I said, take it slow, but not so slow that you're using most of the shot clock and then rushing your final shot. You want to get a good shot, but not the last shot.
One of the points we talked pregame here, control the tempo. Like you said, you want to go fast, but not too fast.
Yes.
But you definitely don't want to just keep passing the ball around the perimeter. A foul on Sabela Jensen, her first. That's UMass Boston's first in the second quarter. It's 33-16, Beacons over the Owls, 7:12 to go here in the first half. Murray to trigger from the 28-foot line on the near sideline. She'll get a return pass and run the offense. Just look at that matchup there. You see it all across the court. It doesn't take a second off defensively. Long shot won't fall. Bodies crash on the floor. It'll remain Owls basketball. Coach Jacobs was looking for a loose ball foul because Jensen actually had her hands on it.
Yes, she did. That was a bit of an odd play in the way that it developed, and Heather Jacobs not pleased with how it ended up.
Second chance here for the Owls after they get awarded the out-of-bounds call. 10 on the shot clock here for Keene State. Flashing at the elbow, turning and shooting, but not connecting is Alabrandi, and here come the Beacons the other way. Jensen, right-hand dribble near the top of the key. Crosses over, comes near side, protects the basketball. Farina now drives and kicks out for Fevry. Not sure if the Beacons are having a difficult time getting open or not, but here comes Murray the other way off the steal. Fakes one way, tough shot won't fall. Offensive rebound, Owls maintain possession. 20 on the shot clock. Durnford in the lane, puts it up. Offensive foul.
There it is.
Great positioning down low by Farina. She was outside the semicircle, drew the contact, hit the ground. And we're going to get a timeout here by UMass Boston. A 30-second timeout. That'll lead to our media timeout. 6:02 to go here, first half. Beacons 33, Owls 16 on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself. I'm like, hey, I actually can make change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life.
Back here at the Clark Athletic Center, 33-16, UMass Boston over Keene State. Head coach Heather Jacobs for the Beacons wanted to talk something over really quick. Maybe didn't like the way the second quarter has started so far.
It's been a bit messy. Definitely not the same precision that we saw from the Beacons in the first quarter, but they are looking strong here again in the second half, and they're taking advantage of post play a little bit more. We saw Alexa Potter get into the mix. Shooting was a big focus in the first half, and now Keene State figuring that out a little bit, contesting some shots, and it's been scrappy on both ends.
Dixon, Fevry, Farina, Potter, and Giacomi Pearson now on the floor for the Beacons. Pull-up jumper by Murray off the front iron, won't fall. Ball loose on the sideline. It'll go out of bounds. UMass Boston basketball. Paige Olivier will check in. Fevry will get a rest.
I'm interested to see Beeb and Giacomi Pearson here. She had a big debut, and then since then has cooled off a little bit, but she's learning from a really experienced roster, and she's getting a lot of meaningful minutes in her first year, so that's huge.
Good pass underneath. Potter was a little out of position, too far under the hoop. Couldn't hit the layup. Owls come back the other way. You mentioned that in the pregame as well. You got to have body awareness on the court.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of her deficits a little bit, is not knowing exactly where she is under the rim.
Murray's three goes in and out, rebounded underneath by Krasinski. She gets fouled. It's going to go against Giacomi Pearson. That's her second team foul in the Beacons, but to the line to shoot two will be the Owls. Krasinski shooting 40. Oh, no, they're going to say it was a loose ball foul, so Krasinski won't go to the line. Never mind. Catch and shoot off the inbound, partially blocked by Potter. And here come the Beacons quickly back the other way. Dixon in transition, drives baseline hard, instead will kick out. Good ball movement. Olivier for three. Yes, sir!
That is exactly the look that the Beacons want for Paige Olivier. She is now, that's her third three-pointer on the day, and she is having a fantastic resurgence here in the last couple games in terms of her three-point shooting.
3 for 5 from beyond the arc right now for Olivier. Deep three won't fall for Lutzy. Ball goes out of bounds, but it hit off of a Beacon player, so Owls will get possession, 20 on the shot clock, 4:42 to go here in the first half. Off the inbound, it goes to the top of the key. Holding it there is Stewart. Passes over for Krasinski, almost lost it on her own. Down to the block, spin one way, go the other. Won't fall for Murray, who takes a tumble behind the play. Dixon bringing it up court. Olivier, catch and shoot. Got it!
Dang, let's go. 32, having quite the day in the first half from the three-point arc.
12 first half points, all of them coming from beyond the arc, as you just mentioned, Max. Crossover dribble by Krasinski. Can't drive any farther. Try to fade away jumper. That won't fall. Dixon cleans the glass with some Windex. Here comes Farina the other way. Entry pass for Potter. One dribble, fronts her defender, lost the basketball. Owls go back the other way. You talked about that too. Don't go too fast.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they don't want to. That's going to be the downfall of them if they are moving too fast.
Grabbing her own rebound and getting the basket is Valerie Lutzy. 4 points for Lutzy. 39-18, Beacons over the Owls. 3:35 to go here, second quarter. Giacomi Pearson goes cross court. Dixon catch and shoot for three, won't fall. She'll grab her own rebound, try to behind the back dribble. It was knocked away by Keene State. We're going to get a loose ball foul against Giacomi Pearson. That's her second, team's third.
So that's a mistake that the Beacons aren't usually making, especially for Meg Dixon, who's so experienced. You know, you miss a corner three, but then you chase your own rebound. That's great. But then a dribble, you know, a missed dribble and then a turnover with a foul, you know, that's not a good sequence for the Beacons right there.
Potter will take a rest. Stepping in is Sonny Green. So a little smaller lineup here for the Beacons. In the lane, basket and the harm down low for Lily Krasinski.
And that's a tendency that Sonny Green has to just draw unnecessary fouls, because she took quite a hack there at the end that the player who took the shot was past her. The shot was either going to be made or it wasn't. She hit the foul, and now it's a chance for an and one.
I think it's a situation where she didn't want the ball to even go up in the air, but got to foul a little harder if you want to get that. Krasinski completes the three-point play. She's up to 5 points, cuts the lead to 18, 39-21. UMass Boston over Keene State. 2:58 to go here in the second quarter. Jakimi Pearson's long jumper won't fall. Murray grabs the rebound for the Owls. She's going to push the pace. Excuse me, that's McAvoy. For Murray, down low underneath, spinning, putting it up. Krasinski won't fall. Loose ball, Krasinski has it. Mid-range jumper, too strong. Beacons with the rebound, and Farina will gracefully calm everything down.
Yes, absolutely. They want to slow things down. They have a huge lead right now. They don't want to be rushing anything that they don't need to.
Jakimi Pearson, we're going to get an offensive foul. It's going to be on Carrie Ann Farina. That's her second. But that's the 15th foul. So now in the bonus goes Keene State. So any foul that's not an offensive foul will send the Owls to the line for two.
I want to be very conscious of that, because you don't want Keene to get any free points with this big lead. You want to protect that lead.
Now you have a three players with 2 fouls for UMass Boston. A 3 by Lutzy. She's up to 7 points. Lead is down to 39-24 for UMass Boston here with 2 minutes to go in the first half. You're going to foul down underneath. It's going to be against Katie McAvoy. That's her third, just the second team foul. Excuse me, third team foul on Keene State. Green misses the first. Just the first miss of the afternoon for UMass Boston from the line. Green misses both. Rebounded there by Lutzy for the Owls. She'll outlet for McAvoy. McAvoy sprinting up court, trying to find some help, and traveled in the process.
Both teams falling victim to that fast pace of play. When it works, but it causes a lot of errors that are unforced. That was, you know, a travel is an unforced error. So Keene State, they can't be giving away any possessions right now, and a travel is not the way to do that.
It was a false sense of security. She saw the lane, and then all of a sudden, Farina stepped in, and she said, oh my goodness, I got to stop and pass. That's what caused the travel. Here comes Dixon dribbling in. Green on the baseline will kick out. Holy smokes, what a three. That one in and then out off the hands of Olivier. Going hard the other way is Dessart. She'll pull back. Krasinski for three. Gets it.
Wow. Keene State three balls really come alive here in the second quarter, as does their whole offense, and they're really closing the gap here with just over a minute to play until half.
Pass down low for Green. Bad angle shot won't fall. Dixon the offensive rebound. A reset here for the Beacons. Knocked out of bounds. We're at exactly 60 seconds to go in the first half.
The Beaks are in quite a dry spell right now. It has been a couple minutes since, I don't have the exact time, but it's been a while since they put up their last bucket. They want to get one going into half. You know, this is not a good stretch for them right now.
Green will inbound, gets it in for Jensen. Farina calling the offense. Offensive foul. It's going to be against Meg Dixon. That's her first.
This is getting chippy and a little sloppy here at the end of the first half between these two teams.
I know you don't want to go into the half burning 2 30-second timeouts already, but Might be a good idea here, depending on this Keene State possession for Coach Heather Jacobs.
For sure.
Murray for three. No, long two.
Long two, yeah.
And she'll hit.
Keene State has now cut this lead down to 10, and the Beacons still are in a long scoring drought.
Largest lead was 19 at one point for UMass Boston. Down to 10, as Max just told you. Green, 10 on the shot clock. Farina straight away, drives hard, kicks out, offensive foul. And that's the third on Farina.
That is concerning for your point guard heading into the halftime.
And quickly, Fevry and Jakimi Pearson will check in. And it's Farina and Dixon who will take a seat here in the final 12 seconds of this first half. Chance to cut it to as low as 7, maybe 8 in this possession for Keene State.
Gonna get the last shot here.
Murray with a bad shot at the end of the half that doesn't fall, and that's where we are at halftime. UMass Boston 39, Keene State 29. We're at the half from the Clark Athletic Center. You're watching UMass Boston women's basketball on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
Because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So Also, each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, where it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact, not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just a starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like the place that people want to go. What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands out to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
Still at the half here at the Clark Athletic Center on the campus of UMass Boston, the Harbor campus. Here are our halftime stats, Max. You see that lights out shooting from UMass Boston, but that was courtesy of a 10 for 19 first quarter.
Yes.
36% in the second quarter.
Yeah, definitely a tale of, we say a tale of two halves, a tale of two halves within the half. It was a really great first quarter for the Beacons, and then the second quarter was down. And I think they're really benefiting from this halftime break right now, for sure.
Turnovers, 11 by the Beacons, 8 by the Owls. That's something we talked about at the top of the broadcast, and those numbers are usually reversed.
Yes.
Right now, it's Keene State controlling the ball a little better. Those are the stats at the half. We'll take another break. We'll come back with live second half action right here on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
Women's basketball, their first home game of 2023 inside the Clark Athletic Center, taking on a tough UMass Dartmouth Corsairs team on Wednesday night. Early on, all Beacons. Meg Dixon had 2 technical free throws that she'd hit to make it 2-0, and then Alexa Potter hits her shot right there, makes it 4-0 UMass Boston. Potter on the miss from Paige Olivier lays this one up and in, makes it 6-2 UMass Boston. Then to cap off the run, Carrie Ann Farina with the steal against Jordan Moretti makes it 8-2 UMass Boston in the early going. Paige Olivier, who had herself a season-high day with 16 points, hits a 3 right there to put the Beacons in control, and then Olivier again with a layup with the Beacons down by 1 in the closing moments of the first quarter. Lays it up and in. The Beacons go up 17-16 heading into the second quarter, and then Olivier again kicking off a 9-2 run for the Beacons in the second quarter with the 3 right there as they trailed by 6. Sunny Green with the tough layup gets it to go. The Beacons continuing to work themselves back into this game. Tatiana Febvre, the freshman, with the tough layup, makes it a 1-point game, and then Sabela Jensen gives the Beacons the lead back 26-25 on that layup about halfway through the second quarter. We move on later in the second quarter. Paige Olivier with a 3, a part of a 7-2 Beacons run to close out the second quarter to help them go into the half up by 4, as you see Sabela Jensen with the layup right before the buzzer. Beacons up 37-33 into the halftime locker room. Coming out in the second half, Sunny Green with this layup gives the Beacons their largest lead of the game at 7 points, 40-33. But then the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs would respond. A layup right here ends up making it a 3-point game in favor of the visiting team, 45-42. But then the Beacons respond with a 10-0 run, starting with Alexa Potter right there. A nice feed to her, and then Meg Dixon. It's tipped around. Dixon down low somehow gets it to fall on the Beacons. Pouring it on now, Biba Jakimi Pearson with the turnover on that steal right there, lays it up and in. The Beacons now in control by 3, and they continue to go at it. Potter down low gets the feed, the spin move, layup. The Beacons up now by 5 points, and then Potter capping off that run to give the Beacons a 7-point lead again with a jumper. UMass Boston in full control, but then the Corsairs would work themselves back into this one, and then Paige Olivier hits a pair of free throws to put the Beacons up by 2 heading into the fourth. Jessica Carroll, though, with a pair of big shots for UMass Dartmouth right here. A jumper right there, and then a 3-pointer help make it a 5-point game in favor of the visitors. Trailing by 4 later on, you see them down low again, the Corsairs giving it back to the Beacons, now up by 8, and then Kaylin Zalewski with the 3 puts UMass Dartmouth up by 11, but just over 5 minutes to go. But the Beacons would respond. Paige Olivier right here hits another 3, and just like that, it's an 8-point game Once again, the Beacons trying to climb back into it. Tatiana Fevry with the layup right there makes it a 5-point game. And then Meg Dixon, a layup makes it a 5-point game yet again, 72-67. And then Alexa Potter hits this free throw right here. It's now a 2-point game with 3 minutes left. But then Jordan Moretti seals the deal for UMass Dartmouth. A deep three right there makes it a 5-point game. And then Moretti yet again on the screen nails another. Jordan Moretti finishing this game with 19 points on 6 of 17 shooting. UMass Dartmouth takes this one 82-75. The Beacons are back in action in LEC conference matchup on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock against Keene State College.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived
Let's take a look around the Little East Conference, Max, as WestCon putting the thumping to Southern Maine 92-45. That's a final already. Other games you see, UMass Dartmouth, who was just here in Boston on Wednesday, trailing Castleton at the half, 39-32. Is that a surprise to you?
Yeah, actually, it is. I think those are the last two opponents that the Beaks have faced. I think UMass Dartmouth, I thought, looked a little better on paper and on the court, but Castleton is a good team, and they've got post presence, so they got a little more size than UMass Dartmouth, maybe.
The game isn't played on paper.
Exactly,
business.
exactly.
And, of course, no surprise, Rhode Island College with a big lead against Plymouth State at the half, 49-22. That's your whip-around coverage for the Little East Conference. We'll take another break. We'll be right back. Second half action right here on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
Experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. So, a man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. It was like a lightning bolt.
Alongside Max Clifford, George Bannister here at the Clark Athletic Center. We're at the half with Beacons enjoying a 10-point lead. They led by as much as 19 in that first half, Max. Kind of got away from them with about 7 minutes to go starting in that second quarter.
Yes, I think the Beacons really were glad to see that halftime break coming up. I think Keene would have probably liked to have played the second half at the end of the first, because they had all the momentum going into half. I think the Beacons regathered, talked things over, and are going to come back with a better game plan. At least that's what you hope to see if you're a UMass Boston fan. They want to get more collected than they were at the end of the first half.
Here's one specific stat that I kind of looked at and I circled and highlighted on our halftime stat package. Points in the paint. Now, we talked about the difference in size between the two rosters, but right now, Keene State's enjoying a 2-point lead in the points in the paint, 14-12.
If you had told me that pregame, I would have laughed at you. I would have called you. I would have said that's ridiculous, and that did not happen, because Alexa Potter is such a force down low, and even Meg Dixon can switch in there and be a great second option down low. Keene State has been excellent, and they benefited from Alexa Potter being off the court for a little while. Krasinski had a few buckets down low that Alexa Potter wouldn't have been able to contest.
Taking advantage, that's good, smart basketball, smart coaching. Here's Ariana Murray laying it in. She had 8 first half points, now up to double digits with 10 for the Owls, who cut the lead to 8, 39-31. Jakimi Pearson, Dixon, Green, Potter, and Olivier on the floor for the Beacons. It's Dixon straight away. Dribble drive into the lane. Scoops and scores.
There's Meg Dixon. She is so mobile off the dribble and to get under there and get a nice layup.
11 first half points. She now has 13.
And that's a good option for them. The three-point shot fell off a little bit in the second quarter, so they don't want to rush that here. They want to get good looks.
Putting up a tough shot and not hitting is Lutzy. She gets the pass out from underneath from Burgess. Mid-range jumper will fall for Kenzie Dunford, and she's up to 8 points. Burgess back in the game for the Owls. She picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half, and Coach Boucher said, you know what, we'll wait this out to the second half, because we know that matchup right there against Potter will be a big one.
Absolutely.
Entry pass for Potter goes off her fingertips and out of bounds. It'll be Keene State basketball, 8:31 to go here in the third quarter. And Heather Jacobs has seen enough. She's going to call a timeout to talk things over with 8:31 here to go in the third quarter. Do you blame her?
No, and that was a quick draw, but I think she came out knowing what she was looking for, and she hasn't seen it yet. So I think there's a big adjustment that needs to be made. That's just an issue that they've had kind of all season, is trying to get the ball to Alexa Potter. Because once it's there, like I said, she's shooting 50% coming into this game. But with your shorter guards trying to get a pass over the defender to get to Alexa, it just doesn't get there a lot of the time. And that ruins a possession, because that usually sends the ball out of bounds.
And you can see right there, we're right in the huddle. The cameras are pointed right at Coach Heather Jacobs. That was an intense talking to.
Yes.
Nothing out of line or whatever, but that was an intense talking to. Basically telling our players, hey, this wishy-washy stuff that we're doing, we got to stop that.
Absolutely.
We got to attack the basket, make smarter passes here, and get things going in the right direction.
Now we'll see the adjustments they make on offense. They're still playing strong defense, but Keene getting more buckets than they would like, and not enough production on the offensive end.
Coming out of the timeout Jakimi Pearson, Dixon, Potter, Green, and Olivier on the floor for the Beacons. It's Murray, McAvoy. McAvoy catch and shoot for three. Off the iron, won't fall. Offensive rebound, but a block by Potter. Now she's tied up, and it'll be Beacons basketball off the tie-up.
A big contest by Alexa Potter there to get that big stuff, and that's the great part of having her down low, is that she just does not let the opponent get shots up.
41st block for Potter on the season. Entry pass, she gets triple teamed, puts up a crazy shot that won't fall, and here come the Owls the other way. Good first step by Murray, drives the lane, eludes a defender, was at a bad angle, can't get the shot to fall. Stepping inside and taking the jumper and connecting is Lutzy.
Keene State continuing that impressive offensive run that they had at the end of the second quarter.
41-35, 7:35 to go. We're going to get a foul. It's going to go against Riley Burgess, her third. It's the first foul whistled here in the second half. Off the inbound, Dixon catch, turns, fires, won't fall. Rebounded by the Owls, and here comes McAvoy pushing the action. Pulls up, decides to direct some traffic. Good hands by Jakimi Pearson knocking that pass away. Good hands there by Jensen knocking that ball away. Entry pass goes down low. Good read by Olivier. Comes away with a steal.
That was a little bit of you got mossed. Olivier just had a higher vertical and was able to reach over and grab that ball.
Dixon steps inside her defender. Ball goes to Green, to Dixon at the elbow. One step and a dribble. Kicks out for Olivier. Crosses over. Back up top it goes. 13 on the shot clock. Farina will reset. Excuse me, Jensen will reset. Picks up her dribble. Olivier in the lane. Back out. Jensen for three. Won't fall. Rebounded by Burgess, and here come the Owls the other way. It's McAvoy. Skip pass for Lutzy. Down low it goes. Kicked out. Murray for three. Off the iron, won't fall. Good box out by Jakimi Pearson will allow Jensen to come away with the loose ball rebound. Green drives baseline. Jakimi Pearson reverses. And again, it goes for Jensen. Now Green, catch and shoot. Off the iron. Rebounded by Burgess for the Owls.
They don't want to fall into that trap of shooting the three ball. It's not falling right now, so they need to find other options.
No motion underneath the free throw line there for the Beacons. Murray for three. She hits it and then tiptoes her way back behind the timeline.
She had a little backwards prance on that one. Ariana Murray is having a great game. We talked about her as a player to watch. Good call on our part. Good job.
13 points now for Murray. She eclipses her 12.2 that she averages in a game. We're going to get an offensive foul on. It's going to be against Jensen, her second. Team's first.
I talked about the Beacons making teams make unforced errors. They have a lot of unforced errors themselves. Ever since that first quarter, they seem to be making more mistakes than they're forcing, which is a bad recipe for the Beacons.
McAvoy picks up her dribble, slings it underneath. Krasinski turns, fires, can't hit. Fevry the rebound. She'll defer for Jensen, who will bring it across the timeline for the Beacons. The lead is down to 3. It was as big as 19, believe it or not.
That's unbelievable. They had a near 20-point lead at a certain point during the first half, and now the Owls have stormed all the way back.
Jakimi Pearson traveled before she kicked it out. Turnover by the Beacons. Owls basketball. And here comes Carrie Ann Farina.
More unforced errors haunting the Beacons.
Turnover number 5 on the afternoon so far. McAvoy will bring it up court. I don't think those numbers are fully updated just yet. Pass down low, good hands by Farina. She comes away with the steal, dives after it. It's tied up, it'll remain with the Owls, so the shot clock stays. 19 seconds to go, 5:02 to go here in the third quarter. Our next whistle will bring us to our media timeout. Murray inbounds for McAvoy. They play catch. Murray near wing. She'll get a screen. Right-hand dribble. We're going to get a foul against Jensen. That's her third. Second team foul. And that'll be our media timeout. 4:56 to go, third quarter. What was once a 19-point lead for the Beacon is only 3. 41-38 right here on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins.
So this is kind of like why I like to do that. With 6:02 to go in the second quarter, that was the score.
That's a good little note to take. That's smart.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
The well-rounded experience.
Primarily as a student, so it was really shaped
Back at the Clark Athletic Center alongside Max Clifford, George Bannister. We were just talking off air, Max. At our last media timeout, which came with 6:02 to go in the second quarter, Beacons had a 33-16 lead. It's now down to 3, 41-38, 4:56 to go here in the third quarter.
It's incredible, the comeback that the Owls have pieced together, and it's honestly in large part thanks to the errors that UMass Boston has created for themselves. They've made a lot of mistakes that are uncharacteristic of their style of play.
It's a 22-6 run from that point to now. 3 ball won't fall. Olivier the rebound for the Beacons. Hands it off. Farina drops it back for Jensen. Farina, Jensen, Olivier, Fevry, Green on the floor for the Beacons. Farina, baseline jumper, too strong. Rebounded there by Lutzy, who's joined by Murray, McAvoy, Krasinski, and Avery Stewart. Offensive foul is going to go against Valerie Lutzy, her first, team second.
I'm really surprised to see the Beacons are still rolling with a small ball lineup. No Meg Dixon or Alexa Potter out there. It's a surprise because they need an offensive spark. Neither of them are in too much of foul trouble as far as I can tell.
Fevry working one-on-one, kicks out. Reverse for Green. She's going to drive the lane. Scoops, fouled, will go to the line for 2. It's going to be against Lily Krasinski, her second. Team's third to the line for 2 is Sunny Green, 53% free throw shooter. She missed her last 2. This is that one. And we'll connect. 8 points for Sunny Green. 42-38. The lead is extended just a hair to 4.
It's good just to see a point go on the board for the Beacons, which it's been a minute since they had one.
Yeah, just the 7th point since the 6:02 mark of the second quarter. Traveling violation here against Keene State, so a turnover and another opportunity here for the Beacons to put something up on the scoreboard. Sabela Jensen running the offense. Fevry, jab step one way, thought about going the other, instead gives it up for Farina. Now Jensen, 10 on the shot clock. There's nobody in the blocks for UMass Boston right now. Farina, dribble drive into triple team. Trying to kick it out for Green.
Need a shot.
Floater won't go. Offensive rebound. She's fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
Smart play by Sunny Green to get the shot off quickly and then grab her own rebound. Got fouled on the go.
That's Kate McAvoy's 4th foul. So to the scorer's table will come Dessart to replace her. 3:18 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sunny Green 1 for 2 on her last trip to the charity stripe. Starts with a make here. One for 2 on this trip as well. Fevry kicked it out of bounds. No, they're going to say it went. No, they're going to reverse it now, and it'll be Owls basketball. 3:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. I saw one official. Yeah, he's still claiming that it's Beacon's basketball. It looked for like up here. It went off of Fevry, and she's kind of giggling as she goes to the bench.
Right. That was a lucky break for the Beacons there. They were very surprised to see if they got it back.
Dixon and Potter back in the game for UMass Boston. We'll see if they utilize them. We're going to get a foul. And I don't know why Riley Burgess is acting like she did nothing there.
That was so aggressive.
Meg Dixon was forcefully shoved from behind, and Burgess put her hands up like, what? I didn't do anything.
That is the ultimate basketball player move. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Quickly, Riley Burgess with 4 fouls will go to the bench. Kenzie Durnford will check in. Meg Dixon will go to the line for 2. Up to 13 points so far for the graduate student. Misses the first. Misses both, which is very unlike Meg Dixon.
It's just the kind of second half that the Beacons are having right now.
Murray, left-hand dribble in the lane, drives hard, blocked by Green. Dixon gets crashed into by Avery Stewart. So she'll go to the line again for 2 shots. That's the first foul on Stewart.
Keene is playing fast, and it's leading to a lot of contact right now. Beacons in in bonus now.
Dixon will hit the first. That's a little better. 8 of 14 now from the line for the Beacons. Dixon misses the second, but Sunny Green with the offensive rebound, and the Beacons are able to reset.
Sunny Green really crashed the boards there, got the Beacons another possession out of that one.
If I'm not mistaken, that's her 3rd offensive rebound of the afternoon for Sunny Green. Dixon flashing through the paint, turns, fires, hits. Mid-range jumper, not a hand in her face. She's going to make that every time.
Absolutely.
Hesitation dribble by Lutzy. Driving the lane, left hand, off the glass, won't fall for Durnford. Here comes Potter with the rebound up ahead for Farina. Olivier back for Farina, who will reset the offense. 20 on the shot clock, 2:17 to go here, 3rd quarter. Potter underneath, up and in.
That's what they've been looking for all day long. Alexa Potter moving a little bit in the paint and getting towards the basket.
Just her 2nd basket of the afternoon here for Potter. Extends the lead back to 10, 48-38. Beacons led by as much as 19. Owls whittled it down to 3, but the Beacons have been able to re-extend it. 3 by Dessart, won't fall. Offensive rebound for the Owls. Murray for 3. That won't fall. Offensive rebound and put back up and in for the Owls for Avery Stewart. Her first 2.
That's what happens when you get their 2nd and 3rd chances down low.
2 offensive rebounds in that one possession for the Owls. We're down to under 90 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Dixon behind the back dribble. Now picks it up. Looks for the cutter, and Farina lost the possession. It'll remain Beacons ball. 8 on the shot clock. 1:17 to go, 3rd quarter. Beacons 48, Owls 40. Green will inbound. Farina, 6 on the shot clock. Drives baseline, double team, turns around. Potter, 2 on the shot clock. It's going to be a 30-second violation. You heard assistant coach Jeffrey Zwerka before that ball was inbounded, 8 on the clock.
Yep.
Reminding the team we don't have a lot of time here. Murray near wing for the Owls. Crossover dribble into the lane. Skip pass underneath. Tied up, stolen by Olivier. Potter for Farina, who will slow things down.
Yep, no need to rush things. They've got the lead back up to 8, and they want to keep it moving.
Olivier, catch and shoot and connects.
There's Paige Olivier. What a night or day she's having from the three-point line. That's incredible. Sorry.
They're going to say it's a long 2.
Never mind.
So not 15, but 14 points for Olivier, but the lead is back up to 10 for UMass Boston. 43 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It's looking like more and more of that full timeout taken with 8:31 to go here in this third quarter, looming large here for Coach Heather Jacobs and the Beacons.
Absolutely.
3-ball, corner pocket. Avery Stewart connects. Cuts the lead to 7, 50-43, 20 seconds to go. Potter underneath.
And one.
No shot. No shot. We're gonna get fouls on the floor against Kenzie Durnford, her second. Excuse me. Is that her second or her third? It doesn't matter. Potter's going to go to the line for 2. It's her third. So it doesn't matter whether or not Potter was going for a shot or not, because the Beacons are in the bonus. They get the 2 shots anyway.
Absolutely.
Potter 56% from the free throw line this season. Misses the first.
For Keene State, you're very happy that bucket didn't count, because Alex Potter definitely better from the block than she is from the free throw line.
Otherworldly smart, you would say, forcing that foul on the floor. Both free throws missed. Fevry, the offensive rebound, and put
Wow.
back.
The freshman getting in on a clutch rebound and put back.
We're going to get a foul off the double team. It's going to go against Jensen. That's her 4th. So a press by the Beacons after the basket, the double team, and the foul is whistled. .1 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We're going to whistle a foul against Green. They had one foul to give. That was it. Second personal on Green. 9.1 seconds to go. Now you don't have any fouls to give, so you can't really press and do that. You could see Coach Jacobs' reaction as she walked out to the court to say that to Fevry, the freshman.
Yes, that's exactly what they wanted to avoid on that defensive possession.
So offensive, defensive substitutions here for the Beacons. 7.4 seconds to go. To the line to shoot 2 is Julia Dessart. Was nowhere near close on that one. Now 3 for 5 on the season. She'll hit the second. First point of the afternoon for Dessart. That's her 6th point on the season. Final 4 seconds. 3-ball connect for Dixon from the wing. 18 points for Dixon in the first 3 quarters. Beacons running out to an 11-point lead, 55-44. We'll take a break. When we come back, fourth quarter action right here on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself. I'm like, hey, I have like 10 friends. I'm one person who can support this.
Division 3 has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball. It's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts. And I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
Back here at Clark Athletic Center, fourth quarter action set to begin. Beacons, who at one point had a 19-point lead, cut all the way down to 3, has now extended the lead to 55-44, 11 points, thanks to connecting on 5 of their last 6 field goal attempts.
This has been a game of runs for sure. Beacons jumped out to a huge lead, fumbled it almost completely, and then have now extended it back out to 11, and they are hoping to stick with that for the rest of the game. They have 10 more minutes to keep their foot on the gas, stay in control of the game, hold on to this lead.
Starting 5 on the floor for the Beacons: Farina, Dixon, Green, Olivier, Potter. Not the case for the Owls, as Burgess is in foul trouble. It's Dessart who gets whistled for the foul there. It's her first foul here in the fourth quarter, happened within 9 seconds of it starting. Dessart, Krasinski, Murray, Durnford on the floor for the Owls. Farina drives, left hand won't go. Ball fought for by Durnford. Whoa. How was that? Not a foul, but we'll go on.
That was weird. I was surprised to see Alexa Potter was not in the paint already to get Carrie Ann Farina's rebound. It seemed like she had to come running in at the end. If she had already been there, she would have been in a good position to get it.
Murray, left hand dribble to the baseline. Pulls up, turns, shoots, and hits. Ariana Murray with 15 points here this afternoon.
She is having a day for herself.
Cuts the lead to 9, 55-46, 9:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Dribble drive to the lane by Potter, no basket. We're going to get a foul by Durnford. That's her 4th, team 2nd. So while that doesn't seem like much, there's already 2 team fouls whistled against the Owls here in the first minute, 4 seconds.
Yep, they want to avoid putting the Beacons on the free throw line because they do have shooters, and Meg Dixon especially. They want to avoid any opportunity to put her on the line.
Pass down low for Dixon, had too much mustard, goes off her fingertips, out of bounds. Burgess will check in finally, as does Liz Gagne for the Owls. So Burgess, you know, I'm no expert, but if you're the UMass Boston Beacon players, you single out 40 and you attack her.
Absolutely. Let her get herself into more trouble. Use it to her advantage.
Dixon temporarily tipped a pass away from Gagne, who recovers, steps over and takes a long 2 and connects.
Keene has been shooting the ball well. When they can get the looks, they're falling. It's just that Beacon's press defense has been overwhelming, causing a lot of turnovers.
Potter with the ball on the far wing, dribbling into the lane. That's not what you want from Potter. Has the pass underneath, mid-range jumper, well short. Ball still loose. Owls come away with it. It's Dessart. Flings it up court. Good job by Dixon coming back and punching it out from behind of Stewart. Out of bounds, it'll remain Owls basketball. I don't know. I'm kind of with you here, Max. If I'm Coach Heather Jacobs, I don't want Potter hanging around the perimeter at all.
It seems like she's just out of position pretty consistently. You know exactly where you need her to be because you know where she's best, and she just hasn't been there. Not sure what the offensive game plan is, but she's best when she's in the paint, especially down low, and they keep having her leak out to the edge, and there's no one in the paint. It's confusing.
Like she does there. Crashes into the lane, passes out. It gets knocked out of bounds by Gagne. It'll remain Beacon's basketball, 12 on the shot clock. I would even probably go as far as right now at this point in time in this game, I would even want her past the elbow.
Right, yeah. There's no reason for her to be. It doesn't – it's another, pass, from spot to spot, but why do you need that? You need someone in the down low spot. Yeah, you want her –
I want
still
her
kind of hanging out up top.
At the straight line of the Little East Conference logo, down.
Yep.
That's where you want her.
That's her spot. That's where she should be.
Which is about 10 feet out and lower. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. 3 on the shot clock for the Beacons here as Green will trigger from the end line. Tries to get it in for Dixon. It's going to be a steal here for the Owls. Trying to go coast to coast is Dessart. She got bothered by Farina. The rebound won't fall for Avery Stewart.
How about the hustle from Carrie-Ann Farina? That looked like an easy layup, but she doesn't block the shot, but she sure gets in the way, and she causes a miss there.
Empty trips down both ways for each team. 7-15. Potter with a big jumper. Off the front iron, won't fall. Avery Stewart with the rebound for the Owls. Dessart has a step on Farina. Floater gets fouled and she'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Potter, her first.
That's a tough one because she came flying through the air. I think Potter wasn't even near her, but she flew through the air and bumped into Potter, and it was a bad result for her.
It's the old, you got to let her land.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Tough to know that she was going to land, 5 feet away from where she jumped.
Right. 7:03 to go. To the line for 2 is Dessart. Again, entered today 3 for 4, 1 for 2 so far. Make that 2 for 3. She'll make both. 3 points. And now offensive, defensive substitution here as Durnford will check in for Burgess. Both players had 4 fouls, so I'm not sure the reasoning there.
Playing with fire a little bit with your foul trouble here. You still got 7 minutes left to play, and it's only a 5-point deficit.
Fevry. Back up top it goes for Farina, directing traffic. Still, you don't really see any UMass players in the block. Fevry's down there, but she's not posting up. Farina's jumper won't fall. Fevry fighting for it, comes away with it. No shot, she traveled.
Oh, no. That's a tough call. That was a good play by Fevry to battle through 3 or 4 players in her area. Moved her pivot foot, though.
She actually wrestled the ball away from Meg Dixon as well, down underneath. She was 1-on-4, but one of those other 4 were one of her teammates. 6:20 to go here, fourth quarter. Beacons by 5, 55-50 over the Owls. On the give and go, the pass down low, out of bounds. It was intended for Gagne, a little too far. Gagne had the step on her defender, too, to get to the basket. She just couldn't corral the entry pass. Jensen for Fevry. Fronts her defender, now has some space, drives the lane, kicks out for Green. Olivier for Dixon at the elbow, turns, fires, won't fall. Durnford the rebound. Here come the Owls the other way with a little bit of space and speed. It's Dessart. She'll defer in the lane, getting fouled as Gagne. She'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be against Paige Olivier, her first. Just the second team foul against UMass Boston, but to the line to shoot 2 will be Elizabeth Gagne, who shoots at a 73% clip so far. Short on the first.
If you're the Beacons, you want to put together a quality possession off. You first want to grab this one if it's missed, and then you want to put together a quality possession. Because now the lead's down to 4. We talked about it. It's a game of runs. You don't want to find yourself on the wrong end of a run here, which they have a couple different times throughout this game.
55-51. 5:43 to go here in the fourth quarter. Fevry inside the arc, looking for some help. Olivier back down for Fevry on the give and go. Spins out of trouble, threw it away to Murray. Murray crosses the timeline, has some help. Skip pass for Dessart, who lays it up and in.
We're now in a 2-point game. This game, remember, it was up to 19 at one point, the lead for the Beacons. It is down to just 2 now. A lot of momentum for the Owls.
5:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Next whistle will bring us to our media timeout. Green near wing, gets a screen from Fevry. Pops back out, swings it over near side Olivier. Olivier travels, traverses the baseline, pass out top, block. Then she dribbled it off her foot. 4:54 to go here, fourth quarter. There's our media timeout. Lead is down to 2. 55-53. 4:54 to go here, fourth quarter. You're watching women's basketball on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Okay. Got it.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, community, all these things combined together to be a
Back here at the Clark Athletic Center, 4:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. Max 0 points for UMass Boston here in this quarter.
I'm stunned, but this is exactly how the game has been going. It's been all UMass Boston, then all Keene State, then all UMass Boston, and it's been all Keene State so far here in the fourth quarter. And the Beacons just can't find their shot at all. They're taking bad shots, they're passing up good shots, they're turning the ball over. It's been rough on offense.
Murray in the lane for the tie!
An unreal comeback from the Owls here. It is so hard to believe that they were once down by 19 points.
17 points for Ariana Murray. We're tied up at 55. Beacons 0 for 5 from the floor so far in the fourth quarter. Potter, baseline, won't go. Rebound by the Owls. Here comes Dessart. She's pushing the action. Lost control, regains. Up top for Murray. Hangs onto it. Trying to dribble away. Good defense by Sunny Green. Up fake. Backdoor cut. Up and in. Basket and the foul.
Oh my goodness. This Keene State team has all the momentum in the world and they can't seem to miss right now.
Kenzie Durnford with the basket and the foul on the backdoor cut. Keene State takes its first lead since the first quarter. A 3-0 lead to start the game.
Unreal, unreal. It seems like UMass Boston has had this game pretty much in hand for most of it. And now they trail by 3 points.
Durnford with 11, and we've said it before, but she is not. Those 11 points have been about as hard of 11 points that you can get. 3-point lead for the Owls, 3:58 to go here, fourth quarter. Why is Potter touching the ball 27 feet away from the basket? Pass for Olivier, too strong. Dixon cuts to the hole. Can't hit the shot, but she'll go to the line for 2. Lutzy on the foul, that's her second, team's third. To the line to shoot 2 is Dixon, who will hopefully get the first point of the fourth quarter for the Beacons.
It's incredible to think that they've gone this long without scoring in the fourth quarter. After the way they looked in the first quarter and then, in the third quarter, they just they aren't easy right now. They're not easy.
It's a 14-0 run in this quarter alone for Keene State. Dixon just missed the front end of 2 shots. So still no points in this quarter for UMass Boston.
Even Meg Dixon, who's near automatic at the free throw line, isn't making her shots.
Misses both. And now a foul by Potter. That's her second. It's only the 3rd team foul, so no shots here, but still 3:47 to go. When was the last time Meg Dixon has gone 2 for 8 from the free throw line? You'd probably have to go to like her AAU days.
Right, yeah. I'm like maybe before she got here when she was in a different uniform.
Murray, jab step, crosses over, pulls up, jumper, short. Meg Dixon the rebound for the Beacons. Here she comes. 3:30 to go. Farina for Green. Has the space, instead passes up for Farina, who resets the offense. Farina, dribble drive to the baseline, kicks out, catch and shoot.
Bang! Let's
3.
go. That is what they've been waiting for almost 7 minutes of this 4th quarter. Paige Olivier has been so good from three-point land.
17 points for Olivier. We're tied up at 58, and before anything else happens, we're going to get a timeout by Coach Keith Boucher. 3:06 to go here in the 4th quarter. We're tied at 58 here during this full timeout. We're going to stay right here at the Clark Athletic Center.
How did we get here, Joyce? How did we get here? From a UMass Boston 19-point lead to trailing by 3 to now a tied game with 3 minutes to play.
Well, you're being outscored 14-3 in the 4th quarter does that. For one. For two, it's been empty trip, basket, empty trip, basket, which hasn't been the case all day long. It's usually been empty trip, basket, empty trip, basket in UMass Boston's favor.
Yes. Keene State is making fewer mistakes in this 4th quarter. For the first 3 quarters of the game, it was both teams making some mistakes, both teams making some plays. Right now, Keene State is making nothing but plays, and UMass Boston seems to be making nothing but mistakes. And it doesn't help. It hurts me to say this as a UMass Boston student and fan, but this sounds like a Keene State home game right now. The Keene State fans have traveled so well. The men's varsity team is right there behind their bench, getting very loud for their fellow players. Keene State has all the momentum and all the noise in the gym right now.
Turnover by the Owls. Farina comes away with it. 20 turnovers by UMass Boston. 21 bench points for Keene State. Dixon for 3.
Bang!
Stepped back and drilled the 3 with a defender in her face. 3-point lead for the Beacons. 61-58, 2:40 to go, 4th quarter.
I thought it was going to be a post-points day for the Beacons. It has been a 3-point day, and they have lived by that, and they are alive because of it now.
Murray misses the opportunity from beyond the arc. Burgess the rebound, kicks out for Murray. Murray swings it, 3-ball, short. That was off the hand of Lutzy. Dixon the rebound, she'll defer for Farina. 2:16 to go, 4th quarter. Green, near wing, back up top for Farina. She'll slow it down. Farina holding. Potter all alone, lays it up and in.
That's what they've been waiting for.
6 points for Potter. 63-58. The lead extends to 5 on the last 2 possessions.
That's what happens when she hangs out by the rim. That's exactly where she needs to be.
Burgess for Dessart. Jab step one way, tries to go the other. Got swallowed up by the defense. 9 on the shot clock. Durnford, Burgess, Dessart, 4 on the shot clock. Dessart in the lane, blocked
Big block
by Olivier. And we're going to get a 30-second violation. Second block of the afternoon for Paige Olivier. That's her blocks 18 and 19 on the season.
That overwhelming defense from the Beacons that has been causing problems is back right when they need it.
Final 80 seconds. Beacons by 5. Farina to the lane. Gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. Foul's going to be against Ariana Murray, her first, team's fourth. Farina shooting 64% from the line. Up to 4 points so far this afternoon. This is the first.
No easy ones here today for the Beacons.
Beacons started the game 5 for 5 from the line. Since then, 0 for 2, 3 for 10, and so far 0 for 3. Make that 0 for 4 here in this fourth quarter. After starting 5 for 5 in the first quarter.
Not what we're used to seeing from UMass Boston in the slightest.
Final 65 seconds. Beacons by 5. Murray, right-hand dribble, picks it up at the elbow. Looking for some help. Close to a 5-second violation. She was able to get rid of it. Burgess underneath. Spin, shoots, won't fall. Pot on the rebound. Dixon will slow things down. And Coach Heather Jacobs wants to talk things over. It's a 30-second timeout. 50 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. UMass Boston 63, Keene State 58. And it hasn't been until the last, 90 or so seconds, Max, that UMass has actually turned it on and has hit a triple and then a basket underneath.
They're lucky they had that big lead to begin with because Keene State wanted an incredible run. It was still a manageable deficit for UMass Boston, and they've worked their way back, now lead by 5. They want to put the game away here. They had a chance to put the game away on the last possession. Carrie Farina misses 2 free throws. In a 5-point deficit in 50 seconds, it's not impossible. If you can get a bucket here, you can kind of put it away because 7 points in 50 seconds, also not impossible, but much tougher to do.
I'm not saying there's any Reggie Millers out there on the floor right now, but
right.
He has proven that 5 points in 7 seconds is nothing.
It can happen, so that's exactly why you want to stretch your lead as much as you can and don't waste a possession when possessions mean so much.
I think that's why Heather Jacobs was so upset because she wanted to advance the ball immediately across the timeline to avoid a trap and avoid time being taken off like this.
For sure.
Want to avoid a 21st turnover with a trap. Green to inbound, gets it in for Dixon. She's left all alone. She'll take it, and she'll miss. Owls have the ball, 39.2 seconds to go. They trail by 5, 63-58.
Not a bad look, but it's tough to come away with no points. The lead's still 5.
Dessart kicks out, catch and shoot, 3, short, rebounded by Potter. That was off the hand of Lutzy. Olivier will give it to Farina, who gets hacked, and that'll be the 5th foul, so Farina will go to the line for 2. Ariana Murray's 2nd foul, the 5th team foul. 23 seconds to go.
Wow.
And a miss. Farina hits 1 of 2. That's the first free throw hit here in the first quarter by the Beacons.
The crowd erupts with excitement for a made free throw.
Extends to 6. Owl's going to take a shot quickly here. It's turning. Burgess, she gets fouled by Potter. She'll go to the line for 2. Burgess shooting 53% from the line.
Take your chances. Better than letting her drive to the hoop.
Or a inside-out drive kick for a 3.
Right, you definitely want to avoid that 3.
Burgess misses the first.
Now it's Keene State who's gone a bit cold. We were talking about how many shots the Beacons are missing. Keene State has now gone a bit of a drought.
Well, after a 14-0 run to start the quarter, we're going to get a 30-second timeout here from Coach Heather Jacobs with 13 seconds to go. But starting the quarter on a 14-0 run, now it's a 9-0 run for UMass Boston, which has extended this lead to 64-59.
Yes, it's been, like I said, a game of runs, and it's been a couple different runs here in the fourth. It looked like UMass Boston, things could not possibly be going worse, but now they've got the momentum. They've hit a couple shots. They've had a couple stops. 13 seconds. Just be smart with the ball. Like we said, you can get a 3 and a 2 or a 3 and a 3 in 13 seconds. Don't let them get a 2 for 1. Get your bucket and put this game away. It has not been easy. It has not been that easy for the Beacons today, but they've got the momentum right now. Take care of business.
9-1 run since opening the quarter on the deficit of a 14-0 run by the Beacons. Dixon will get fouled. She'll go to the line for 2 shots.
That's exactly who the Beacons want at the line right now.
You want your best free throw shooter, of course. Dixon will hit. Meg Dixon could be at 25 points right now if she just hit her free throws. Instead, she's at 23.
That's usually not an issue for her. As we see, she goes 2 for 2. That's what we're used to seeing from her.
Final 10 seconds.
Isles need a shot quick.
Dessart lost the handle. In the lane, quick jumper, and connecting is Durnford. Excuse me, that's Lutzy. 11 for Lutzy, off the inbound, and there's the final buzzer.
And Beaconville breathes a deep sigh of relief.
It wasn't easy, it wasn't clean, but it's a victory.
It is a win. At the end of the day, Beacons walk away with a victory. Owls put up quite a tough fight. We talked about they're probably better than their record, and they showed they sure are.
Owls dropped to 3-10, 1-6 in Little East Conference play. Meanwhile, Beacons 9-8, 2-5 in Little East Conference play. Just quickly running through, Paige Olivier 17 points on 5 of 8 shooting from beyond the arc. Meg Dixon 28 points for the Beacons. Those are your 2 scoring leaders. Murray, Durnford, and Lutzy all in double figures for the Owls. But it's a win by the Beacons, and a big one here at the Clark Athletic Center. For Max Clifford and our entire crew here at the Clark Athletic Center, again, Beacons 66, Owls 61. You've been watching women's basketball on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he should have had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you you can join as a freshman and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise science.
Final stats for this afternoon, 66-61 win by the Beacons over the Owls here, Max. And you take a look, everything was pretty evenly matched except for the three-point percentage, and that was largely in part thanks to Paige Olivier.
Yes, absolutely. A huge afternoon from Paige Olivier. Not the player that we necessarily expected to be the starring role, but 5 for 8 on three-point shots will do that for you. An incredible game, and led the team to a 9 for 20 night from beyond the arc. And that was really the difference, because they were able to shoot the three well from start to finish, with some dry patches in between. But they outshot the Owls, and that really helped them.
It was a 19-point lead at one point that got dwindled down to 3. Owls then took its first lead of the game since leading 3-0, and that's in part to the fourth quarter shooting, just 3 of 10 for the Beacons.
Yes, it was the even number quarters were rough for the Beacons. 2 and 4 were rough. But this is the sign of an experienced team that at the end of the game, they were able to pull it together, get over whatever was causing them problems, and finish the game out strong, and that led to the win tonight.
That's it for us here. Again, final score, UMass Boston 66, Keene State 61. For Max Clifford and our entire crew here at the Clark Athletic Center, I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm George Bannister. You've been watching women's basketball on the Beacons Broadcast Network.